Hello, good morning, good evening to all the TBC members, locally and globally. My name is Casper Detman. This will be my this will be my 12th 24/7 broadcast. Today, I'd like to take this opportunity to do my broadcast based on the article that is put up by the TBC admin. The poster article talks about the three-way communication builds trust while groups destroy confidence. As shown on this printout, on this poster article, the diagram is showing about the third party calling and edification. The diagram shows which is you, the red circle, and the green one is your prospect. The blue circle is talking about the expert in tipsy. So the diagram says that you have to bring your prospect, which has the trust on you through the friendship. So when you bring the prospect to the expert in TBC, who has gone ahead on TBC, always up to the block, he learns, do and teach, building his expertise for TBC. So when you bring your prospect, in order to build the trust between you and the prospect, the expert will do the edification. Will be talking on about you to the prospect. So when that happens, the prospect will start to have more trust on you. So this diagram, or this circle of third party calling and edification will continue on. So the prospect will go and find his prospect again and maybe bring it to you or to the expert. And the same process will continue. So this diagram is very good, put up by the TBC admin. It really clarifies on what we can do every day when we have our prospects. I'll just go through the article. The article says, before I get started with the current topic of this blog post, I want to briefly clarify our TBC offer at this time. TBC offer at this time. We are building a new financial system that is private for members only. So this statement is very, very important. Every one of us are now taking part in building a new financial system that is private for members only. From the ground up and within our abundance-based concept, all our members will become wealthy as either millionaires or billionaires. So our financial system that is for private members only. Who are the private members? At this stage, or at this time, the private members are the qualified TBC members, those members who have paid their Pringle cash back office, plus the lifetime fee. So this financial system for the private members will make all the private members become wealthy as either millionaires or billionaires. It is very, very clear. Our offer is simply this. For $110, any new member will ultimately become millionaires and billionaires. And their TBC Pringle coins will become fully liquid and 100% spendable once we have matured into a fully developed TBC Pringle economy that is global. So the offer, TBC offer, at this time is only $110 for any new member will ultimately, through our financial system, will become millionaires and billionaires. And their TBC Pringle coins will become fully liquid and 100% spendable once we have matured into a fully developed TBC Pringle economy globally. This is a good news and it is exciting to all us, to all our TBCs. Currently, our TBC Pringle are not fully liquid yet. I want to mention it again. Currently, our TBC Pringle is not fully liquid yet, and it is not 100% spendable. Because why? We are currently working with a TBC admin in the distribution process. Most of the TBC Pringle currently held by the TBC admin must be distributed globally. And then we will have our TBC Pringle matured. Once we reached our 1 billion TBC private members globally. Where else can you turn $110 into millionaire or billionaire status over the next 1 to 2 years? There's no way or no system that you can make this $110 into millionaire or billionaire status. It is only through TBC, our real electronic money. The article of Costa further states that. Now I want to address the subject of how powerful three-way communication is, having made that important clarification. Also, I will explain the dangers of building groups. TBC prospects and new members face a mind-blowing paradigm shift when they examine our TBC offer. First, we present a gift of over $2,000 in our somewhat new digital money that by itself is mind-blowing. And to test its validity, new members want to immediately spend it before they have taken the needed time to understand our money and the new financial system we are rolling out over the next couple of years. Redeemable cookies as the initial gift stops them from following through on the desire to immediately spend their gift and allows our community the opportunity to take the time needed to fully explain our fantastic offer to these new members. It is very, very correct and very, very true that at a moment, TBC prospects and new members, they face a mind-blowing paradigm shift. It means when they are given the TBC offer of $110, and they are advised that from this $110, they can be made millionaires of billionaires. So this is a mind-blowing paradigm shift. Like the statement earlier on this poster, TBC admin stated that there's no other way, or where can you have such an offer to make you become a millionaire and billionaire in a year or two. The article further states that, but are we dropping the ball at this critical junction? This is a very good question to think critically about it. When we give this TBC offer of $110 to make somebody to become a millionaire and billionaire in our financial system. Many of those actively recruiting within the TBC community haven't fully grasped what our TBC offer is. It is very true. And in many cases have superimposed a distorted version of the TBC offer based on what they think or understand it to be onto their prospects and new recruits, and the result can be discouraging for both the prospect, recruit, and their sponsor. This is very true. Most of the existing TBC members haven't fully grasped what our TBC offer can do. Through our financial system. Three-way communication is by far the best way to strengthen out this situation. We want all of our new members to be excited and not left with a feeling of discouragement. An excited member is a member ready to learn and do our system that leads to success. Three-way communication is a time-tested and proven strategy which leads to positive results and income that has been used in a variety of business opportunities worldwide. Alright, three-way communication is by far the best way that you bring your prospect to an expert. You and your prospect through some kind of a friendship or relationship have built a trust, but that trust is not that firm or that concrete based on what you have imparted about TBC to your prospect. So once you bring your prospect to an expert now will edify you to the prospect. So once that edification process is taking place, at that instant, the initial trust you have built between you and your prospect is now being strengthened, is now being reinforced by the expert. So that trust will move the prospect to do the same by finding his or her prospect. And the three-way communication will repeat itself, will continue. So in this way, we can start to build firm trust between the TBC members and also start building the strong private members community within the area you are from or in other areas that you have contact with. So this three-way communication will make new members to be excited and not left with feeling of discouragement. So when they're excited, they're ready to learn and do the TBC financial system that will lead to success. So let's go what the three parties in the diagram above in the poster. Okay, this is the three-party diagram. You, your prospect, and the expert. It starts with you. Let's say you have not made much money yet in TBC. Now let's look at the TBC expert in the diagram. For best results, the TBC expert should have a firm grasp on what our real TBC offer is all about and possess in-depth knowledge in that regard. But knowledge about TBC is not the most critical thing to have as a TBC expert. No. Cash flow is the most important thing. The experience gained in achieving regular cash flow is really what sets a TBC expert apart from those that just think they are TBC experts. Okay, on this statement, it clearly defines who are the TBC experts. Okay, TBC experts are those that achieve regular cash flow. They create an environment. They create their system that keeps the flow of people to them, which leads to the flow of cash. These are the TBC experts. Make sure you have teamed up with a fully qualified TBC expert before you start. Three-way communications with your prospects and new recruits. These are great advice to all of us, TBCs. If we haven't fully grasped the TBC offer, we must partner or team up with fully qualified TBC experts before we undertake or start three-way communication with our prospects and new recruits. Okay, on this article, TBC admin has give some of the venues where you can find great TBC experts. The statement states that a great place to find a TBC expert is among our active broadcasters. We need to interview a few of them and select one of them to be your partner, your personal TBC expert. Some of them even offer cash flow coaching services. Many of your prospects will gladly accept a wonderful gift of cookies from you. Make your best effort to get them sign up and get the gift into their hands. Now let's talk about the danger of setting up a group of any kind. One of two things are likely to happen in any group you set up. Either trolls or misguided members will poison your team in it and create a bunch of time-wasting drama and grief. This is one of the greatest danger when setting up a group. Or due to a lack of activity in a group, your team will start to conclude that nothing is really happening in TBC and lose interest in pursuing it. This will lead to terrible outcomes. TBC admin says that in this article, I have dedicated a number of posts within this blog to address the harm trolls can bring into our community through Facebook. I suggest you look those up, but WhatsApp and Telegram groups, as well as Messenger chat groups, can be just as bad. It is very correct. It is almost impossible to train enough watchdogs to protect an active group around the clock. It's very true. We will have no control. Any social media admin of a group is bound to have these kind of troubles. It is very correct. Gathering people in person in meeting can also be dangerous if you don't know how to manage it properly. I've seen more than one leader fall from grace when they failed to put in the safeguards needed for meetings. So TBCNs lead by example, be the highest cash flow earner. I would like to take this time to thank TBC admin for putting up this great poster article that we need to seriously look at the three-way party calling and edification. That will really create trust between us, the TPCNs, and the prospects and new recruits to building a strong private TPC community. Thank you very much, all TPCNs, for your attention. Thank you, TPC admin. May God bless TPC admin and all the TPCNs globally.